Hi. Welcome to this random vlog, basically, as we're still continuing our trip through Europe. And I had this idea. I was literally like lying down here, doom scrolling on TikTok as one does. And I had the idea of like, what if I vlogged every day? I would do a little mini vlog for you guys. Because if you guys watched my last vlog of Europe, basic of how I got here, it was kind of very random of like whenever I was able to get a chance to take a video, or take a clip or whatever like that, I would. And I really liked how a lot of the videos came out. So I'm gonna just do that. So today is July 1st. We're still in Mexico. I'm currently packing for my trip to Turkey, Istanbul for 5 days, and then going all the way back home finally. I've been traveling for the last month basically. And basically my idea for this vlog is, as you guys are joining me, is I'm gonna go through a little bit of my pros and cons of being a digital nomad, as someone who's kind of been slightly doing it for the last like 13 years, because most of my work has been remote anyway. So I'm going to go through that a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoy this really weird random idea that I've just got like while lying down and like doom scrolling. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this trip. So I guess we'll just start off. The first pro when it comes to becoming a digital nomad is the fact that you can work anywhere. And that's kind of like always the pitch, right? Like I have a course that's called the Work Anywhere Challenge. If you guys want to grab that, I'll put it in the link below. But basically, that was kind of one of the first things I would teach people is when you are a digital nomad, you can work anywhere. And that's the reality. That's real. That's not fake. Like I've literally worked from tents. I have worked from the actual beach as well. You don't want to do that. You get sand in your in your laptop. You definitely don't want to do that. Just for the pictures, sure, do that, but don't do it for reals. I have worked up in the mountain. I've worked literally anywhere. I've worked, of course, from bookstores to cafes to co-working spaces, so a lot of different places basically. And it is real, like you can work anywhere. So that's the first thing. I just get that off out of the way as the first pro when it comes to being a digital nomad. Now I'll tell you guys a con to pair with that though, as I am packing, and I'll show you in a little bit. A con is basically this, which is you always have to put your stuff in a bag. You are always constantly making sure that you're within weight limit when you're packing. So that is a con when you are working from anywhere, traveling around. Like I have two bags. I have that one, and then I have my backpack for my laptop when I'm traveling. But then I'm always like carrying this as well in case I'm working outside while I'm around. So that is basically one con that is real. Like for me, whenever I travel, I always, especially if I know I'm going to be gone for like a month at a time, I will always pack 2 weeks worth of clothes, which means that I have to keep in mind again that weight limit. I have to keep in mind that I'm bringing my laptop, my camera, my mini desk setup that I usually bring around with me. I'm bringing an iPad, I'm bringing a Kindle, so it is the constantly unpacking and repacking when you go from one place to the other. And I know for a lot of nomads that I've talked to in the Mexico Nomad Fest that I was just at, that's also something that they do. And some of them solve it by shipping basically their stuff from where they are to where they're going to be, or having their friends ship their stuff as well, which means for a little bit you don't have enough clothes. And as someone who has worked a lot on essentially investing in what I wear and the things that I love to have for myself. I'll put like a couple of my basically fit check for the day videos that I've done so far in Europe. I do like having variety, but that's me. So that's why I'm more of a slow mad of someone who does do nomad stuff basically at least once a year of going somewhere, but I do love my base. So yeah, that's your first pro and con of digital nomad, and this is kind of day one of this vlog. We'll probably have 5 days of this vlog, so you guys will have more clips and hopefully more pros and cons of being a digital nomad. Okay, so I'm just working basically. So today's Monday. Monday is usually my meetings day with all of my team, with everyone else. Even when I'm in the Philippines, that's kind of usually the case, is I'm doing meetings with people. So basically, another kind of a con is you do have to make sure you have a good workstation. So in the Airbnb that we're in, we only have one kitchen table, and there's four of us basically who work online. One person, a friend of mine is always doing calls, something. So for me, like, oh, I have to like have a different workspace because I can't be overhearing other people's calls or the people in my call overhearing that call. So that is one con, is you always have to figure out like where the workspace is every time that you do work anywhere. Is you have to make sure that you have good internet, you have a desk, which I don't have right now, and also figuring out like, is it going to be quiet enough? Are you going to do a lot of calls? What does that setup look like? So basically, as I'm going through my day, I will kind of keep thinking of the pros and cons basically of being a digital nomad for you, and again taking you guys through my day. So right now it is 12:20 p.m., which means it's about 5:20 p.m. for my team in the Philippines. So they're wrapping up their day. I'm still kind of ramped up. I still have, I think, 3 more calls to do the rest of today, because we are here basically a lot of people that I usually won't have the opportunity to talk to just because the time zones are so different. They're booking calls on my calendar on times that are usually pretty free for me, basically my wrap up nighttime. So that is pretty cool. So I guess that's a good pro when you're a digital nomad, is when you are traveling and you're going around, you're able to have better flexibility time zone wise of knowing who and choosing basically also who you want to work with and who wants to work with you. So that's just a really cool one. Is like before, I remember for a lot of our potential European clients, they would book really late in the evening for me, which I didn't really mind, but it is a little bit nice. So, it's now, you know, their afternoon is my afternoon, so there's not a lot of difference time zone wise. So yeah, so basically I'm working. I have a 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and a 6 p.m. meeting, so good buffer time in between. I'm still packing. I've just basically sent out my stuff for laundry. I basically went out and had 2 laundry bags with me earlier, and so I can finish packing and have clean clothes when I get to Turkey. And yeah, and then going out, basically it's an in-person meeting, is the 4 o'clock one, and then a meeting at night, and then we'll see what the evening brings us. So hi, how are you doing today? Good. So that was a client call. I got a new client. Woohoo! I have one more sales call to do this evening, and I'm meeting up with a friend to hopefully set up a micro event for you guys, and be able to see how that actually could do or happen. So if you guys are still watching this, in the comments below, what kind of micro event workshop do you guys want me to do? I would love to know. And yeah, so I'm just a little resting. This is usually me, like right after a really long meeting, no matter if it was good or if it was I like to lay down and like read on my Kindle, or doom scroll on my phone, just because I just get a little tired. Good morning. So 7 a.m. right now. Well, almost 7 a.m. I have a 7 a.m. call with a potential client, and it's July 2. So there we go. It's kind of life as a digital nomad, is sometimes you have to get up really early to kind of connect the 2 time zones together. He's based in the US, so I'm like, okay, early start to the day. So good morning. We're back to our makeshift desk. At least. Oh wait, hey, marketing meeting. Hi. So it is, what time is it? 6:30 p.m. Still bright up because we're still in Mexico. So tonight is our last day in Bulgaria, which is crazy. And I was just looking out the window and it started raining. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. See that? Oh, there you go. There you go. You see a little bit of the rain. Which, as someone who almost survived a natural disaster in the rain, I do love the rain. I do enjoy it. There was a time in my life that I did not. Anyway, so today I basically had a ton of back-to-back meetings in the morning, like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9, 9:30, 10, 10:30. And then around 11, I went out to pick up my laundry. And then we were off and we went up to the gondola here in Mexico. And I'll show you guys a little clip of us arriving there. So, switching you guys to my phone camera because, of course, I cannot bring like my big camera because we're going up the gondola in Mexico. It's our last day here, so we're like adventure. So yeah, this is part of my day. Is going up the gondola in Mexico. And basically, we kind of went up there. We didn't really know what to expect. We kind of had an idea. We knew that there was a restaurant. We knew that there was like slides and stuff to do there. I went off on my own adventure as well, like sliding down on the one where it's a little bit wobbly. I know for my co-founders, they did the one where you kind of have a little bit of a leap, and I was like, not for me. And then we had a lovely lunch, and then we went all the way back down, and then we were kind of just walking around Bulgaria a little bit, just because we know that it is our last full day. Tomorrow morning, right in early at 7 o'clock, we're gonna go to the airport in Sofia, and then it's thundering. We're gonna go right into Sofia, and then our flight to Turkey. So that'll be an adventure in itself. I'm still trying to see and hoping that I'm going to be able to hang out with a few of my girlfriends, basically, that I met here. I guess they wanted to do one last coffee before I go. I'm like, sure. And now it's raining, so who knows? If we do end up going, then you guys will see a clip of it somewhere here of us hanging out. Yeah, that's basically. This is basically my last full day here in Mexico, Bulgaria. Unless this room a little bit, it's like the Airbnb that we're staying at. It's freaking fantastic, by the way. If you guys do end up going to Mexico, I'll put the link somewhere. I'll put all of the places that I went to in a Notion page somewhere, probably for you guys. Yeah, so on lessons, pros and cons of being a digital nomad. One con, I guess, is you do have to really balance work and running around. Now that's kind of the reality of it. It's like today we went through the gondola and I had to cancel a couple of meetings, sacrifice basically a little bit, because I knew it was the last time or last opportunity they would be able to go up the gondola before we left. And it is a little bit of a balance of like, when do you go out, when do you go actually have a little bit of fun versus like when you hunker down, I mean, and then get to work. So that's kind of, for me, kind of the balance that I always have to think about when I'm traveling or when I'm nomading. It's like, when do I go to specific places that I really want to go to, and when do I hunker down and work? And for me, it's kind of easy because my team is in the Philippines, so I mostly kind of work in my morning, because then it's their afternoon, so there's good overlap. But usually, for example, if I, when I was nomading through Malaysia, when I was nomading through Singapore and Thailand, I would specifically move a couple of meetings around, or my work times in the evening or early in the morning, so then I can go around in the afternoon, be able to actually experience the place that I'm at. So depending on what that looks like, that's essentially what it looks like for me. So yeah, that's basically the one con is you do have the balance, and of course the pro is that you are able to you're kind of a little bit forced and pushed to explore, to walk around, which is always good and healthy, and that there's always more to explore whenever you're in a place, whether you're staying there for a month, you're staying there for 2 weeks, or even just a week. There's always more to explore. And if you guys are being moved around, it's because I already packed my tripod, so I don't have my tripod to hold you guys up. I've just been using my hand to move you guys around. Oh, the thunder. The rain is coming down. So hopefully I'll still be able to see my friends before this day ends, basically. But yeah, that is basically on the pro and cons for today. I hope you guys enjoy a little bit. I might try to do an intro tomorrow for when we go to Turkey and catch a few scenes for you guys, and we'll see. Good morning. So we're leaving Mexico today. That's basically what's going on. Am I a little bit sad? A little bit, yeah. This has been a very nice week and a half, basically, being here. I mean, Italy was also nice. I forgot to record a lot there, but like Mexico, I had a lot of opportunity to record. Most of you guys have been here. Yeah, that's kind of the agenda today. Today is the 3rd of July, and we're flying to Turkey, which is crazy because throwing another country in there. So come with me as we go to Turkey today. immigration. We're now here and just waiting for our flight to Turkey. So we're in Turkey. We're just right now picking up our SIM cards, as you do when you're traveling. So I'm just on my phone because my camera is in my bag. So I apologize for the changing quality and audio quality. But I will start talking to you guys soon. We're just gonna go to our hotel, and it should be lots of fun. So we just got out of the airport. We're now on a fancy van going to our hotel. So we're right now in the Asia part of Turkey, so then we're going to the Europe part of Turkey. I was sitting in front so I can get the best content for you guys. That's Garrick, as you guys know, for whoever's watching this. Very concerning look in his eye. Yeah, enjoy our ride to Turkey. Well, where we're going anyway. Okay, so today is July 4th. We are on day 2 in the beautiful Istanbul. So yesterday when we arrived, we basically got to our hotel. It took an hour drive to go from the Asia side of Istanbul, Turkey, and then both. And then going into the Europe side of Istanbul, which was really cool to see all the buildings, all the sights. I hope you guys enjoyed that part of the video as well as I did, because I was just like, oh my god, everything's so pretty. So today, basically we're going to work, because when you're a digital nomad, you're still gonna have to get some work done. We're gonna work in this morning, and then the afternoon we're going to go ahead and actually go to like the Grand Bazaar one, because shopping, why not? And maybe explore a few of the other sites. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of a little bit of a plan. So on to the juicy part of this video, which is usually, you know, the pros and cons of being a digital nomad. Pro is that you are able to explore a lot of things that you would have never been able to do. Like you would have to balance basically having to take, you know, leaves from work, so on and so forth, between going on vacation. And when you're a digital nomad, you're able to just kind of do that. Like I've been explaining this most of this video, is you do have to balance, you know, when you're going to go out and when you're going to have to get work done. But then you get to explore more of the world and more of yourself, which is a little bit cheesy and a little bit but it's honestly one of my favorite things. Is like when I started being a digital nomad, like actually traveling while I'm working, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, why not just take a leave, why not just take a day off, or like why this kind of lifestyle that you want to live, basically. And honestly, for me, I found that whenever I traveled, whenever we went somewhere new, I get to explore a little bit more about myself. Of like yesterday, when we were going around, I was able to reroute basically in my head how to get home very easily, very quickly. And that's me kind of affirming to my 20-year-old self. When did I travel for the first time? When I did Hong Kong when I was 20. Yes, to my 20-year-old self, like, hey, look, you're not gonna get lost. You're gonna get better at this. You're gonna get to the point where you can feel safe within yourself. And there's a lot of instances like that for me. Like when I'm traveling, is that I am able to find different skill sets, different ways that I think about myself, or ways to kind of heal a little bit of my inner child when I was really nervous and scared about traveling and working at the same time. So that's kind of a cool gift of being a digital nomad, is you get to know yourself a little bit better, especially every single time that you're put into new situation where you have no idea what the language is, no idea who the people are. You just kind of have yourself to rely on. And it's a really cool part of the journey, to be honest, especially when you're someone who is always developing, always growing, is self-aware. It's kind of a cool little journey. And a con a little bit is that you do have to keep finding places to work at. So that's kind of what my agenda is today, is to hopefully find a coffee shop that I can work from that has internet, or else I'll just be using my phone data. So it's kind of a little bit of a little bit of a cinch. So if you're digital nomad, you always do have to look for a good workspace when you're in a new place, new country. As you guys saw in my previous Airbnb when we were still in Bulgaria, that I had to work with pillows, but then I had kind of good enough internet. And like here, I have no idea where the cafes are, so I'm just gonna go to the cafe or the hotel downstairs. So it's kind of basically where I'm at. So I hope you guys enjoy this day in Istanbul. I have no idea for sure what we're gonna be up to. Maybe we'll be going on trains, maybe going on buses. Who knows? We'll see. So, getting work done. Okay, so I'm editing and posting this video and like doing this filming again like I did in Bulgaria. So we're in Turkey. It's really hot and a really warm day, but we're here. So the last couple of days, I think I took you guys, the last time I filmed was right before we went to shopping, basically, shopping center. And then the next day we were able to go around and actually see a few of the sites. We went to the Galata Tower again, just because it's super nearby to where we are currently at. We are staying at Karakoy, which is means it's 5 minutes down that road to get to the tower. So basically went to the tower. We got rained on. We were supposed to do a walking tour, and then we were like, it was raining. So then I found this really beautiful cafe that apparently was famous, because it was famous enough that as we were sitting outside and I was enjoying my coffee, two people came oh, can we take your seat? We came from all the way from Romania to be able to take a picture here because it's a really famous movie, and we're like, we're still enjoying our coffee. So then when we left, they did take our seat. So that was fun. I also found this really cool secondhand bookstore. It was a books and record store, and they had the oldest books I've not seen ever in my life. And I found a Christopher Columbus life story book. It was 100 years old. They would not even tell me the price because it was that expensive. I did end up getting a T.S. Eliot and Prince and the Pauper book, which was really cool. I also got one other nonfiction book as well, just for fun. Basically afterwards we went all the way to take the train to Hagia Sophia, which was also really cool. It was so beautiful. Going in there, I didn't know honestly much about the history when I went in there until I of course went in there and found out for myself, and it was amazing to kind of get to know the history of it. The fact that it was a church right before, Byzantine church right before, and it got raided so many times and burned down so many times, and it's still standing. So it's a beautiful testament to people or sultans and emperors wanting to show off that they're the best. Basically is what I got from that. And then afterwards, we went to the Egyptian, forget statue thingy. Basically, it was all nearby. And then we also went into the Blue Mosque, also very pretty, also beautiful. We enjoyed kind of sitting there and kind of chilling and kind of breathing a little bit after all the running around that we did that day. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if we did anything else that day. No, but that was basically it. And then yesterday, I started my day off with doing a Turkish coffee workshop, which was so much fun. I learned a lot about the history of coffee. I learned how to, how they make Turkish coffee. That's why, and like, spoiler alert, it's actually just the coffee beans, coffee grinds at the end of a Turkish coffee. It's not really sand. People think it's sand, but of course it's not. So I had fun learning a lot about that, and afterwards we went back to the Hagia Sophia Museum because when we were there the day before, it's sadly already closed, and it was a whole experience. Like you get like the audio guides, and then it was like a movie playing in front of you. They had the background sounds, but of course the narrator is different for different languages, and it was so cool to kind of see things come to life a little bit of the history of Hagia Sophia. And if you guys are planning to do that, do the museum first and then go to Hagia Sophia, because then you can appreciate it a little bit better. And then afterwards, we basically walked around a park basically near the palace a little bit, and then we came back to the hotel, said goodbye to our friends who were leaving basically and going ahead on their trip. And then at night, we went up the rainbow stairs, which is right behind me, which was really pretty. We had a few non-alcoholic drinks there, walked all the way up into the other side of the bridge, basically on the other side of the island a little bit, and found the most breathtaking sunset from view basically from there. And I basically just walked around and enjoyed a little bit of the last sunset in Turkey on this trip. And then basically afterwards we went all the way up to the Suleiman Mosque. Found out there was it's still under prayer and it was closed, so we went up into one of the rooftop restaurants that were there. We had so much fun. It was good food, and we basically just kind of, my brother Garrick and I basically just kind of talked for like an hour and a half, just reflecting of the last 10 years of our lives. We basically kind of grew up together. We met when I was 18, he was 19, and we kind of started businesses together. We kind of grew into different phases together, have seen relationships fall apart, and the current ones that we're in. So it was kind of just a nice moment. And then for me, like I started then also, of course, naturally reflecting being a digital nomad when you're a business owner, which is a different thing. And normally on my channel, when I talk about these things, I usually put it on like a different type of video. But when you're a digital nomad and you're an entrepreneur, it's such a different experience versus like if you are a digital nomad and you're working for someone, because you do have a little bit more freedom, but it also has a little bit of the catch-22 guilt of when you're able to travel, when you're able to do things, and like, oh, I should be working right now, just because you don't really have that much of a set schedule depending on the kind of person you are. And that's kind of an interesting pro and con when you are a digital nomad, is being an entrepreneur digital nomad, is you do have the freedom and time to do other things, but you have to keep in mind basically how to take care best of your people, how to show up for your people the best way, and at the same time you have to keep in mind that you are growing a business. So I guess that's kind of my last hopefully tidbit for you guys on pros and cons of being a digital nomad. I'm right now at the cafe below our hotel. It's a little bit warm, that's why I came out here, because inside they're playing music. So I wanted to talk to you guys as I'm wrapping up this video. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if this kind of convinced you one way or the other in becoming a digital nomad. Of course, if you guys liked this video, this is going to be my last stop of Europe. I'm going home to the Philippines within 48 hours, which is I'm so excited for. It should be I think we have a 20-hour layover in Doha. I might do a video there, maybe not, you'll see. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this whole trip of Europe of mine so far. I have so many clips, and if you guys want to see a lot of my reels and like posts about my story, I do have another Instagram account where I post a lot of me content, and you guys will find it somewhere here. I'll put it somewhere in here as I'm editing this video. Yeah. If you guys like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up right there. Again, comment if you want to be a digital nomad or not. I would love to know, and if you have any questions at all. And yeah, I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home, how to business from home, which you guys can check out right here. And the latest video right here. I think you guys have an amazing day, and with that, small steps matters. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.